are now a couple of days removed from legitimately the craziest, most unexpected, and mind-blowing trade in NBA history. Yes, I said it, and frankly, that isn't even close.
Crazy league. Looking forward to the next couple days.
And it apparently caught the entire NBA by surprise, even the players involved on both ends. Again, if you believe that.
Yeah, would have never thought Luka Doncic get traded at this age, mid-season. Yes, the NBA is a wild place, man.
And yes, that even includes LeBron James.
Without AD, it's got to be a collective group, and not one of us can do it by ourselves, and we damn sure can't do it. Take up all what AD does. He covers for all of us. So it was good for us to come in with the team aspect to get stops together, clean glass, and then share the ball offensively. We did a good job with that.
The Lakers' true de facto general manager, whose agent and close inner circle confidant, Rich Paul, and his Clutch Sports agency also reps Anthony Davis. Which, speaking of AD, who was, like Luka, allegedly stunned by the news, immediately waived his $5.9 million trade kicker as part of the deal. So, help me through this.
So initially, I thought this trade, after I thought about the trade, I'm like, trying to make sense of the trade. So I'm like, okay, how did this make sense, right? Lay certain things out. And my view of it is much smaller than somebody like this gentleman that's talking. His name is Scap Attack. So I purely think about it from the people involved and not from a global perspective, which is probably the best way to look at it. To look at it from a NBA overall league view, which is very hard to do. And he's going to lay some of these things out, I think, and I'm going to let him do that. But I'm going to go from after I heard about the trade, I'm going to go from the people involved view. So my reasoning is I'm looking at it, okay, you have Anthony Davis, who right now, actually throughout his career, whenever he's been healthy, he's been one of the top maybe 1, 2, 3 big men in the league, which he plays the 4 most of the time. 30 and 12 every night. When Anthony Davis is healthy, this dude is a beast. And he plays great defense. All right. So that complements a player like LeBron James, who is pretty much ball dominant, clear it out. I'm going to have one man on me. I'm going to bulldoze and lower my shoulder and get to the rim. Teammate of LeBron James, that's what he's going to do at this point. So Anthony Davis can go out to the wing because he can hit the jumper. If LeBron gets in trouble, he pass out to AD. AD can hit the shot. Boom. Great compliment to LeBron. Right? So Luka Doncic is the same type of player. Luka Doncic is pretty much a half-court player like LeBron. He's ball dominant. He has to have the ball in his hand. He does his work. He's not a high flyer. He's not all that exciting. But he should be the face of the NBA at this point, since they like to market individuals. Fine, market individuals. They don't do it the way that I would do it, because if it was me, I'd be marketing De'Aaron Fox, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I'd be marketing Tyrese Maxey. And then along with all the rest of them, AD, and still LeBron, still market him. But get to marketing these young guys. Of course, you're marketing Luka. He's been one of the best at his position since he's been in the league. So, Luka, 25 years old, he's coming up. He could sign a deal that's worth about $350 million over what, like 5 years or something like that. And he's 25. Anthony Davis, we know, for as great a player as he is, Anthony Davis is fragile. And not talking negative about Anthony Davis. This dude is fun to watch. He is a beast when he's healthy. I'll say it again and again. But he's been injury prone. But when he's healthy, there's not too many better. Now, behind the scenes, Anthony Davis is a Clutch Sports client, which LeBron James, he probably, one would think, he probably don't have information on just day-to-day operations with Clutch Sports, but a fair-thinking person would say one of his best friends run Clutch Sports, so he probably does have input on day-to-day operations, as well as he has input on day-to-day operations involving players, that is, with the Lakers. LeBron did everything he could to get Anthony Davis there. In fact, at the time, trading young talent away, regardless of how these players turned out after the fact. I'm not even going down that road. But at the time, all these players that they traded away still had potential. Traded all those players away. Oh, and just so magically, Anthony Davis demanded a trade. And he would only go to the Lakers. And so just thinking about it from the players involved, I will come up with these things. Now, first I was thinking, ooh, the Lakers, finally, the owners and everybody like that, they're starting to take their power back, because I don't know if many of y'all know, besides the salaries that the players get 51% of the revenue that comes in. That's 2% more than the owners. The owners who put this whole thing together. If it wasn't for the owners, you wouldn't have no arena to play in. You wouldn't have players making $50 million salaries. But of course, I do understand the players are the one that are actually on the court. So without the players, the owners would have no reason to pay anybody $50 million. They wouldn't have any money to build these arenas and this, that, and the other. And if you're paying one player $50 million as an owner, just imagine how much money you make. All right. So you look at it, and Anthony Davis is 31 years old. In sports at a high level, if you're 31, of course I'm gonna be hyperbolic right here. If you're 31, as far as when you were born with your body, you're probably about 56. Luka Doncic is 25 years old, just now coming into his prime. Anthony Davis is past his prime, although he is still great. He's putting up big numbers, but he had his best days already. I don't see Anthony Davis going out averaging something extraordinary, 37, 12, and 8. I don't see him doing anything like that. I can see a healthy Luka Doncic doing something like that. So I'm thinking, well, you know what? They NBA owners, they are starting to take their power back. They didn't, starting with the Lakers, one of the marquee franchises. Lakers and the Knicks, to me, are the marquee franchises in the NBA, and then there's pretty much everybody else. So they sent the message to LeBron saying, we've kowtowed to you. We know that your time is you're done. Your time, we bent over backwards. We got your son here. We gave him a guaranteed contract. They done everything that LeBron wanted them to do. So I'm thinking they taking their power back. But as I would think Scapatech is going to expound on these things a little bit more. So let's continue.
I so flabbergasted, so taken aback by these secret trade discussions upon hearing he has been moved from LA, a team he forced his way out of New Orleans to join, a team who he helped hang a bubblegum banner with during the COVID tournament on the Disney campuses in Orlando, Florida, and another banner for their big in-season tournament win, a city he has called home for the last 6 years. Upon hearing he had shockingly been traded, immediately decides to just forfeit $6 million he was eligible for and entitled to in order to better facilitate the trade on both ends. That's the story we are being fed, that nobody knew. Well, apparently the answer to that question is yes, at least according to Mavericks general manager Nico Harrison, who indicated he had been working on the framework of this deal for weeks with Lakers GM Rob Pelinka.
And I'd like to give Rob Pelinka a lot of credit. You know, trades, you guys have been around here, trades don't happen at the smallest level without stuff getting out. And Rob and I were able to have, you know, really intense conversations over the course of, 3 or 4 weeks that started out as a coffee that, was more, hey, would you ever, I don't know, would I? Let me think of, and then it built upon that. And, we kept it between us. We had to keep it tight.
And at least that does kind of make sense since these two are longtime pals. And I do mean long time, as LeBron's latest puppet GM Pelinka goes way back with Harrison. Like for over 2 decades, to when Nico Harrison was working as a junior executive with Nike and Rob Pelinka was Kobe Bryant's agent. Kobe, of course, who was one of Nike's marquee figures at the time. And these two had a very close relationship, as Harrison and Pelinka traveled the world together with Bryant, and that even included family vacations together.
What?
Yeah, this really is bordering on some collusionary front that the league offices probably have to look into. I mean, this trade was so hush-hush that not even the Utah Jazz knew Anthony Davis and Luka Doncic were involved in it until just before the deal was executed. And the Jazz, of course, acted as a third team in this trade, a needed facilitator to help make the finances of the deal add up.
So, just on the surface of this trade, if all the teams knew Luka Doncic and Anthony Davis, if they knew they were available to be traded, right? Wouldn't some of the other NBA teams be willing to give up more than the Lakers? Or because the Lakers ain't really got shit. They got Anthony Davis. Dallas, I really don't know what they have, but on the surface, wouldn't NBA teams, if they knew that these two players were available, be willing to give up? Some teams will be willing to give up just about anything to get either one of these players. Now, you can look at Luka Doncic, what he has done, and his potential, because he's a young player. You can look at Anthony Davis, because he's 31, but he's not an old relic. He still got some gas left in the tank. And I'm sure he has a no trade clause, but we're just going to stick to the surface. I can't get to all the nuances and all the intricate details, this, that, and the other, but I'm talking about from another team's perspective. Because if I had the chance to get Anthony Davis, even with his history, even if I wasn't ready to win a championship just to fill some seats, would I go after Anthony Davis? Absolutely. And Luka Doncic is in a totally different category because of his age and what he has demonstrated so far. He has been all NBA every single year he's been in the league. And he's only 25, which is a baby by NBA standards. 6 years older, Anthony Davis, he's not a baby. He's not an old man. And if you look at his former teammate LeBron James, hopefully Anthony Davis is not involved in all the we'll just say synthetic substances that's alleged with LeBron. He still got, I want to say 10 years, but with his history, Anthony Davis probably has, he still might have 10 productive years. It's not going to be 31, 12, and 8. He's not going to have that. But I can see Anthony Davis, probably 41 years old, if he's halfway healthy, he can be 17, 9, and 5. Who wouldn't want that on any team? Now, the salary is a consideration, of course, always. But, yeah.
They ended up taking on Jalen Hood-Schifino in exchange for 2 second-round picks, and they had to make an initial deal to clear the roster space to absorb Schifino. But yet they found out roughly only 30 minutes before the deal was announced, around 12:15 a.m. Sunday morning, of the magnitude of the deal.
At 25, they traded probably the best scorer in the NBA at 25. And he didn't know about it. So it's a lot more digging somebody got to do to find out why he got traded.
Seriously, this shit cannot be legal under NBA collective bargaining agreements. Harrison, meanwhile, discussed some more specifics to the deal in a press conference, which was almost as surreal and stunning as the trade itself, as he was putting out a lot of questionable stuff here.
J-Kid didn't know about it, but J-Kid and I are aligned, and we talk about archetypes, and we talk about the culture that we want to create. So I know the type of players that he likes without.
Hold on. This guy right here, this is general manager of the Dallas Mavericks. Now, leaders lead in different ways. They make tough decisions, this, that, and that. I'm not saying this guy had to come out here and be like, yes, we decided to do the trade, and we have to keep the team in mind. And, he don't have to come out and speak in these mannerisms, this, that, and the other. But me as a man, just listen to this guy talk. I'm kind of looking at him sideways, be like, you are in charge of hundreds, multi-million-dollar, way down the line franchise altering decisions, and you speak to me like this? Maybe that's just me. Well, yeah, J-Kid didn't know about it, and he basically, what he's saying is, yeah, I kind of know how J-Kid think. We thinks alike. We know what the archetypes are. And Jason Kidd is on board with this because Jason Kidd know the bigger picture. He knows the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is probably eventually the Dallas Mavericks might move to Las Vegas. J-Kid, you're not going to be the coach when they move to Las Vegas. Unless because they don't even have an arena built, but they have arenas that they can play. It's a whole lot of stuff. I'm going to stop right there and let this soft-spoken general manager continue.
Actually talking to him, hey, would you like...
Firstly, that Jason Kidd had no idea whatsoever that trade talks were underway. And yeah, that definitely checks out upon evaluating his body language during this thing.
It is part of the business. It is a little shocking, but like in the sense we have to push forward.
It looks like Kidd is either being held at gunpoint to be a part of this presser at all, and if not, like he needs to be institutionalized immediately without a belt or shoelaces. What I'm saying here is this guy needs to be placed on immediate watch for his own well-being, as he might possibly be a risk to himself or others. Blink twice, Jason, if you need help. Yeah, Kidd clearly wanted nothing to do with this trade or this press conference.
Well, let's be clear. I'm the one making the decision, and Jay's supportive of it, so it's me.
During it, Nico confirmed that Luka did not ask out and that they were not concerned with him signing the pending Supermax extension he was eligible for this summer, which would have been worth $345 million.
No, not at all. Not at all. Nothing verbally. that would lead me to believe that.
Speaking of that extension, Luka will, of course, not be eligible for the Super now due to this trade, a move that will end up costing him $116 million.
Oh my.
And even for immensely rich professional athletes, $116 million is nothing to sneeze at, and all because Luka is fat and out of shape.
He's fat.
That's not according to me, mind you, but rather to sources close to the team, who paint Luka as an unserious person unwilling to take care of himself physically.
He's fat.
With these sources close to the team going so far as to say the organization outright blames his being fat
He's fat.
on the reason he has played in just 22 games.
Hey, Scap Attack, the gentleman that's narrating this video, I see you are a fan of Jim Rome. Those who know.
This season due to a calf injury. Now, Harrison stopped short of saying that in his press conference, but did say essentially that he didn't think Luka fit in with the team culture.
And then as we turn the page, I think it's important to know that Jay Kidd and I, we've had a vision in the culture that we want to create since we've been here. And the players that we're bringing in, we believe exemplify that.
And that in addition to being fat and out of shape, Luka is also lazy and doesn't take defense seriously. Nico Harrison, after all, thinks that defense wins championships.
And, you know, we think defense wins championships. And we're bringing in one of the best two-way players in the league.
Something Kidd did say that he was aligned with Harrison on.
Again, Nico has talked about defense. Defense wins championships. AD is the one that we truly believe fits with D-Live and Gaff and PJ. And so when you look at going forward, we're looking at the window to win now.
Now, Harrison also indicated that the first time he brought up the prospect of trading Doncic away to ownership, team governor Patrick Dumont laughed at him.
The first time he laughed at me.
And I'll tell you what, Nico must have sold this trade a hell of a lot better to him than he did to all of us in this press conference.
We believe in as an organization it's going to make us better. We believe that it sets us up to win not only now but also in the future. And when we win, I believe the frustration will go away.
Look, if you want to peddle this as the Mavs are better right now with AD and Christie, sure, I'll actually buy that at this point. Because Doncic is hurt, we are unclear on just when exactly his return will be, and he is not currently in the best of shape.
He's fat.
As reports have him at least 30 pounds heavier than his 230-pound list weight. But trying to pawn this move off as the best thing for the long-term future of the organization is nothing short of insane, bordering on just outright lies.
It's a complete crap.
Let's in fact just go with the premise that Luka is indeed fat and lazy and doesn't take his conditioning seriously.
So all this whatever has happened in this video that I've said, that Scap Attack has said, let's look at it. Put your ownership glasses on. And I'm talking about ownership from a league standpoint, the whole league. Because this trade affects the whole league, not only now. This a trade like this affects the league for many, many, many years to come, because some teams would say, well, the Lakers and the Mavs were able to do it. Well, what if we move this over here and do this and do that? Well, why can't we do that as well? So put on your ownership glasses. I'm just going to put it as simple as I can. In America, we would like to think sports are just, I really don't know the word to put to it, so I guess I'll describe it. We just think that these professional sports league, we just think that things just happen. It's all free flowing. It just happens. Circumstances. No. And the reason I say that is, if I was in it, but what we cannot forget, these sports leagues are first and foremost at the top of any of these lists is they are a business. You put business as priority, which business is making profit. Number 1 is number 2, is number 3, is number 4, and it's number 5. Business making profit. Now, me as an owner, if I had the ability to increase profit by having a more global view of this league, because you have to remember, you are the owner of your team, but you are in a consortium of other owners. Their success and failures are partly involved with your success and failures. You can excel as an individual team. Oh, that's great. But you know what you got to do? They have what's called revenue sharing. So if one of your other counterpart owners are losing so much money, you know what you got to do? You got to pay money to them. So why not allow the other owner to have some form of success? Whatever goals those owners have said, it might not even be a championship, this, that, and the other. Keep in mind, all this is business. All this is profit. And in these professional sports league, winning doesn't automatically translate to profit. You have a team like the Sacramento Kings who haven't been relevant in I don't know how many years, probably way back in the day since Chris Webber and Vlade Divac and Peja Stojakovic and what's my man name? The black dude with the ball head, Bobby something. I don't even remember. But you have to keep all these things in mind. This is a consortium of owners who have all different goals in mind. Now, for the success of the league, which is what this trade is about. This trade isn't about just the Lakers and just the Mavs. This is about the future of the entire league. And at right now, what the NBA is going through, the overall gameplay is just trash. It's just trash. It's dribble down the court, shoot a 3, go back down to the other end, shoot a 3. That's just, and just by pure percentages, obviously I'm about to tell you something that it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know. A 3 is a lower percentage shot than a mid-range shot, then a layup, then a dunk. So what happens? You're going to miss more 3-pointers. Who wants to sit here and watch missed shots? No one does. So for that reason, the NBA is just, it's not good. The ratings are not good. They have some fantastic players in the NBA right now. Even though I kind of watch the NBA from the side, but I definitely keep up with it. There are some players. I don't have a favorite team. There's some players that I watch. I watch Luka. I watch Joker. I watch De'Aaron Fox. I watch Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I would definitely watch Wemby. Victor Wembanyama. Lord, that dude is something else. I still watch players like Kyrie Irving. One of my favorite players in the league besides Wemby is Jalen Brunson in New York. And they have plenty of great play. And wait a minute. I just thought about something. And this might let you know how much I keep up on it. Is Ja Morant hurt, or where's Ja Morant at? I haven't heard anything about Ja Morant, which, knowing Ja Morant's history, that's probably a good thing. So this video has went way too long. Oh my goodness. There's just so much I can say about this trade. This is crazy. I can say that. But if I zoom out and look globally, I can kind of see where this is going. While the NBA has crushed the Dallas Mavericks fan base, the bigger picture might have something to do with a NBA team being in Las Vegas, maybe. And what sounds better than the Las Vegas Mavericks? I'm just saying. But that's the end of this video. Peace.